A firefighter is dead after a brutal dog attack. Hear from the department shaken by the sudden loss of one of their own. And a local basketball legend has passed. This evening we remember the life, career, and legacy that started right here in the Triad. But first tonight, breaking news as we just received new details about that alert that went off across Greensboro last night. Police now say the investigation in Oaks West was a murder-suicide. Good evening, I'm Ben Briscoe. WFMY News 2's Christina Dillon went to Creekwood and spoke with residents about what happened.
Tonight, we know the identities of the two people killed in a murder-suicide on Creekwood Drive. Police say 62-year-old Paul Merchant shot and killed 38-year-old Alessandra Merchant before taking his own life. Police were on scene for hours last night, and today you can see aftermath. Windows blown out and the yard is torn up. Police were first called around 9:30 Friday night for a family disorder. They say Merchant fired at officers from inside the home. No officers were hit and none returned fire. Negotiators and a special response teams were called in, and a juvenile inside the home was released safely. When officers went in later, they found both Paul and Alessandra Merchant dead from gunshot wounds. Neighbors told me the two were married and lived in the home with a teenager. They say more than 20 police cars, SWAT trucks, and EMS vehicles lined the street for hours. The shelter in place was lifted around 2:30, but the cancellation alert was accidentally sent to the entire county. Police say there is no ongoing threat and the investigation is still open.
New at 6, we now know more about the identity of a firefighter who died in a dog attack earlier this week. Officials with the Fairgrove Fire Department confirmed 73-year-old Michael Bodenheimer was killed. Deputies say he was found dead Tuesday night around 7:30 on Jeanette Lane in Silver Valley community. The department released a statement calling him a longtime member who served the community for many years. The department's chief said in part, "This particular incident involving one of our own has hit the department pretty hard since several of our current members served with him. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends as well as our community members." Davidson County Sheriff Richie Simmons says criminal charges are coming as the investigation continues. And today in Greensboro, a group of about 20 people lined the intersection of Battleground Avenue and Pisgah Church Road to protest several things, including recent Border Patrol operations in North Carolina. The protests come after confusion surrounding the end of the Border Patrol operation dubbed Charlotte's Web. Protesters say the operation violates human rights for people of color, and they protest for those who can't too.
We are protesting to stand up for others. A lot of the people here, not all of us, are probably somewhat privileged by being white, unprosecuted people so far, and a lot of people who are people of color feel not free to stand up and protest against things that are going on.
Operation Charlotte's Web saw the arrest of over 250 people. Border Patrol says they focused on picking up people with violent criminal records, and they say the operation was a success. Agents are expected to head to Louisiana next. Today, we are remembering a Triad legend. If you've lived around here long enough, you know his name well. The Triad joins Wake Forest University as it mourns the loss of basketball legend Rodney Rogers. The school announced his death today. Since 2008, he had been paralyzed from the shoulders down due to a dirt bike crash. Bryce Parker has more as we remember Rogers' life and legacy.
Yes, both current and former Wake Forest players, coaches, and staff are mourning the loss of Rogers, remembering his legacy as someone who was kind, inspirational, and an all-time great, both on and off the court. Now, in his time as a Demon Deacon, Rogers led the team to an NCAA tournament appearance in 1991 and in 93 when he led that team to the Sweet 16. Rogers then played 12 years in the NBA and was named the 6th Man of the Year in 2000. Rogers' life took a turn, like Ben said, when an ATV accident left him paralyzed from the shoulders down. However, through his foundation, he worked to encourage and inspire people suffering from spinal cord injuries.
Rodney was the cornerstone of the acceleration of our program. You know, he's probably the greatest athlete ever to be at Wake Forest in basketball. And, you know, what he did as a player and his 360 dunk will live as one of the best plays in Wake Forest basketball history. You know, as good a player as Rodney was, as good a person he was, he's the kindest, most caringest Wake Forest person I've ever met.
Rodgers' number 54 jersey hangs in the rafters of the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
More major sports news tonight. Winston-Salem native and NBA legend Chris Paul announced he's going to retire after this season. Paul appeared to hint in the news in a social media post Saturday, just hours before what could be his final game in his home state, as the Clippers take on the Charlotte Hornets. Paul, a West Forsyth and Wake Forest standout, was drafted 4th overall in 2005, quickly making his mark, winning Rookie of the Year. Over his 21 seasons, Paul has stacked up 12 All-Star appearances, 11 All-NBA honors, and a spot on the NBA's list of the 75 greatest players of all time. He really is wonderful on the court. The 40-year-old is widely expected to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. The weather is amazing right now, perfect for a stop at Winterfest. Look at all of them out there on that ice. Today is the second day of the Greensboro winter tradition, always one of my favorites every year, and the weather makes it even better if you want to go out there. It's really nice, warm weather, but not what we're expecting for ice skating, Claire. Totally different than winter weather.
Yep, no, it has certainly been warm, not only today, but also for the last couple of weekends, too, as we made it into the 70s this afternoon. Highs today, we climbed all the way up to 73 in Greensboro, 75 over in Asheboro, 76 in Reedsville. We've been tracking a cold front that's brought in a couple of isolated showers earlier on into this afternoon, moving through mainly to our east. 1 or 2 possible for us, but we have managed to stay mainly dry. Greensboro right now, we are in the mid to upper 60s across the region. Winds are out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temps right now 66 in Greensboro, 65 in Reedsville, 65 also in Winston-Salem. Where are we typically at? Well, a departure from average. We're around 15 to 20 degrees warmer than we typically are around this time of day for this time of year. We've had some wind gusts today up to around 20 miles per hour. Highest wind gusts even in higher elevations up to 35 to even 40 miles per hour. So been a little bit windy with that front moving through today. Tomorrow going to be a little bit cooler as that cold air moves in behind the cold front. We're talking mid to upper 60s. Plenty of sunshine on the way for Sunday too. This cold front that's been bringing in those showers to our east and cooler air moving it behind it. High pressure is going to start to keep us nice and dry really over the next couple of days. Then we're going to be tracking our next weather system that'll be bringing in more rain chances, much needed as we step into Tuesday and Wednesday. A closer look at the futurecast. Some clouds will greet us early into Sunday morning. More sunshine stepping into the afternoon. Highs are going to be back in the 60s after waking up in the 40s. Still going to be a beautiful day for any outdoor plans. Much needed rain chances on the way by the time we step into Monday and also into Tuesday. Going to be out of our hair as we head into Thanksgiving. Here's that 7-day forecast over the next few days. Mid to upper 60s, cooler than today in the middle 70s. Rain chances are back for Tuesday and Wednesday. Mid to upper 60s, but a big cool down behind that cold front. Thanksgiving highs are only going to be in the lower 50s. Overnight lows into Friday and into next weekend could even get into the upper 20s and lower 30s. Going to certainly feel cold after days like today in the 70s. Plenty of sunshine heading into next week.
While it's warm out today, Tim Buckley says winter is coming eventually. Check out his winter weather outlook now streaming on WFMY+. He dives into all you need to know as the weather gets cooler and you want to stay prepared. Just watch it right here on WFMY+. With Thanksgiving 5 days away, I hope you already pulled that turkey out of the freezer. You need to get it thawing. But if dinner plans are still up in the air, don't worry, there is still time and you don't have to break the bank either at the store. Today we're showing you how to feed a family of 4 for just under $50.
So Thanksgiving is right around the corner and I was asked, do you think you could do Thanksgiving for 4 people for under $50? I said, you bet I can, because we were able to put all these beautiful items together, including a pumpkin pie with real whipped cream for dessert. Let's get cooking on this special Thanksgiving Cooking with Style. The biggest savings, the turkey at 77 cents a pound. Our bird costs $9.07, savings $14.37. So our bird's all ready to go in the oven, but what we're not doing is stuffing it. But you'll have to season the inside heavily with salt and pepper. And then to get this nice coating on top, I softened some butter, a little olive oil, pepper, and garlic. Butter was also on sale at $4.49 a pound. That helped a lot. Before the turkey goes in the oven, put a layer of carrots, onions, and celery. And as you would expect, celery, carrots, and onions were at a great bargain, especially the onions, 3 pounds for $2. Let's make the turkey broth. We'll put 2 bay leaves, turkey neck, giblets in 2 quarts of water, garlic, 2 tablespoons of salt, along with a mirepoix of onions, carrots, and celery. Making our broth was a huge savings using the mirepoix. For your sweet potatoes or candied yams, we're going to start with a little bit of butter, salt, kosher salt, sprinkled with pepper, and then the brown sugar over the top. For the pumpkin pie, we're going to mix 2 eggs together with granulated sugar, ground cinnamon, a little salt, ginger, and cloves. We'll mix that very well. To that, I'm going to add heavy cream and whole milk. We'll whip that all together, and then finally goes in the pumpkin puree. A store-bought pumpkin pie can run you $7 to $8. Ours was only $3.50. And it's also a perfect time now to drain off the potatoes and get them ready for mashing. While everything's cooking, let's get the mashed potatoes mashed. Potatoes were basically half price, 5 pounds for $1.99. And what would Thanksgiving turkey be without cranberry sauce? Ours only costs $3 instead of $5 for the same amount. For the stuffing, we're going to saute some onions and celery in 1 stick of butter until translucent. Let's put the stuffing together. In go the sauteed onions and celery. We'll add to that a little bit of broth, toss it, and by the way, we're using that beautiful turkey broth, into a casserole dish, cover with foil, and 45 minutes before we pull the turkey out, in goes the stuffing. Our time is compressing now, so let's get the stuffing in the oven. Also, now's the time to pull the foil so the turkey starts to brown up. The turkey's been in for about 2.5 to 3 hours. It looks perfectly done. Let's get it out of the pan and let it rest. Be sure to tent your turkey to keep the warmth in, and we'll deglaze the pan with some of that turkey broth to get all the goodness out of the vegetables. For the gravy, remove the vegetables, leave the remaining stock, and add 3 or 4 more ladles of the stock we've made. To that, we're going to add the mixture of flour and water, then the giblets, and at this point, just a little seasoning of Worcestershire sauce. To finish up the gravy, season lightly if needed. This didn't need a thing at all. We've sauteed some shallots and thrown our green beans in the boiling water. Those are at the very end, just before we serve. The green beans are cooked. Let's drain them off, toss them with the shallots and butter, and serve everything up. So when I got the call, can you do Thanksgiving for 4 under $50? I said, let's give it a try. Take a look at the shopping list. $48 and change with everything that you would normally have at any Thanksgiving meal. And of course, we had some beautiful pumpkin pie and whipped cream to finish it all off. Hopefully this helps you get through your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Looks good. That was a lot of butter though. Hey, we're also getting in the holiday spirit. One of the best parades in the Triad is less than a day away. The High Point Holiday Parade is tomorrow, and it's going to start on Green Drive. This thing is so cool. It winds around downtown. If you've never been, it's a great time. It starts at 3 o'clock, but if you can't make it, you can still watch all the fun right here on WFMY+. We'll be streaming it all.
I have something to put on your radar. It is the Craftsman's Christmas Classic, and that is a festival that has arts and crafts. It's going to be available during Thanksgiving weekend. That is the 28th through the 30th. It's going to be at the Special Events Center at the Greensboro complex. There's going to be so many different things that you can choose from, whether it's handmade items, crafts, even home decor, just different things to ring in the holidays as we're getting closer.
The holiday fun doesn't stop there. We have a growing list of activities for the family all across the Triad. Just text the words Jingle Bells, 2 words, to 336-379-5775. We'll send you all the holiday happenings.
Hard to believe it's already that time of year, and it certainly doesn't feel like it.
Not
Today,
at all.
it was in the middle 70s. It was 74. This is the 3rd weekend in a row that we've been in the 70s. Tomorrow, going to be notably cooler. We'll be back in the 60s. Plenty of sunshine. Much needed rain chances are back into Tuesday and Wednesday. Cooling off just in time for Thanksgiving. It's going to actually feel like Thanksgiving. We'll be in the low 50s with lots of sunshine heading into next weekend, too.
Listen, we are all very thankful for the warm weather now.
We are, yes. Enjoy it while it lasts, because cooler air is on the way for sure.
Thank you also for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 11 o'clock.